Hello everyone and welcome to another One Punch Man the Strongest video. Today we are back in Server 7 doing an account review for one of our clubmates, AVA. So AVA is currently a pilot who took over the accounts for 2 weeks and he is ranked 52 on the BP ranking, which is very good. And also he is ranked 36 on the arena ranking, which is very good as well. So this is the lineup that he's currently running. For this one, I'll actually suggest him to put up the Genos instead. Heavily invested Genos with a sub DPS RMG to wipe out the opponents. However, for this account itself, it was actually a rank 20 account. So for it to drop rank 10, I believe is mainly because of the zombie. Another thing is because over here, you can actually take a look. The Goketsu has enough shards to be 5 stars. Then over here, the tank top have enough purple shards to be a purple 5. So in this case, a better lineup will be this lineup over here. So it's actually the tank top with the additional max HP from the Juro core and the additional shield rate from the Goketsu is actually able to put up a very big shield for the RMG and the Juro. And from there, usually the Genos will be speed 1 on the opposing team. So your Phoenix will actually help to share the damage of the first turn Genos out for this Juro. So it's very difficult to kill off the Juro and it's very difficult to kill off the RMG. Then from there, because the Genos is most likely not able to be killed, then from there it will keep on doing his ult, then the RMG will keep on following up. So this one will actually be a better comp to keep the account at about rank 20 or so. For this account, there are two main problems with it. One is that your buff gears number are not a lot. And the second is your talents is not very well done in the sense that you actually have a lot invested in your talent 1 and 2. And your talent tree is very weak. So it goes across all characters. So over here, there are a lot of talent points on 1 and 2. And the talent tree is very weak. So in this case, what I recommend is actually to use your vitality to do the minimum to unlock this sigil slot. Then from there, do the minimum to unlock this sigil slot, this one and this one. Then do the minimum to unlock the last point. Then from there, if let's say the character requires attack, max out the attack, then max out the HP. Then max out the attack over here, then max out the HP over here, then go back to talent 1. So let me walk you through the process in case it is not clear. So once you get a character, you unlock the page itself, it will be totally empty. Then from there, you do the minimum to unlock the next point all the way until here, then you do the minimum to unlock the next point all the way until here. Then from there you unlock this point and you put a little bit into this point. So from there, once you see that you can unlock the sigil slot, go ahead and unlock the sigil slot. Then for talent page 2 and 3, this one you actually need the characters to be 4 stars to be able to unlock. So in this case, what I recommend, while extreming for the character, stop with the talent farming and go farm your Conqueror challenge instead to get your buff gears. So once the character is 4 stars, you unlock the talent page 2. So you will see an empty page. So essentially you do the minimum to unlock the next point. Once you see there's a yellow line, you can go ahead and unlock the next point. Then all the way until here. Then from there you take a look at what are the requirements that's needed. Then from there you unlock these 2 sigils. Then once you are able to unlock the talent tree, go ahead and unlock the talent tree. So once this talent tree is unlocked, right, you max out the green points over here, which is 800 points. So once you keep 800 points over here, you will no longer get any green points from the talent perfection. For this one, you get 1.2 thousand. So once you get 1.2 thousand, you won't be getting any more blue coins. Then from there, all your talent perfection will give you the purple coins. So you do the same thing. Once you see the yellow line, at the next point. Once you see the yellow line, at the next point. and over here as well, until you can unlock this last point over here. So once this last point is unlocked, depending on whether it is a character that requires attack. If let's say it's a character that requires attack, then you max out the attack first, then you max out the HP. Once you have maxed out these 4 nodes, you come back to this page, do the same thing. So you max out the attack, then max out the HP. Then come to here, max out the attack and max out the HP. Then from there you actually gather some purple coins along the way. So in this case you can put it on the top point over here to give your characters more stat. You also get 1,200 points over here. So in this case you can choose to max out this point itself to give the characters more stats. Once you have done the minimum for all this, just stop with the talent farming and focus on getting more buff gears instead. For the training center itself, it's good that you follow the 2 of each element over here. So you have 2 grapplers, 2 high tech, 2 duelists and 2 esper. This one is good. However, your skill training limit is very low. As of now it's level 90. So in this case, what I recommend is actually to look through your characters to see whether you have any skill books that are on your non-training center units. For example, this Metal Knight over here, you are currently running the Child Emperor and the Generals for your high tech. So in this case, you can actually consider to reverse this Metal Knight. So once you reverse it, you will get 1,900 skill books. So from there, you take all these skill books to raise the skill levels of the Child Emperor and the Generals. Then from there, you can actually increase your skill training limit. Then also, because your Koketsu is only 4 stars right now, so you can actually reverse the Amai over here with the skill books. So if let's say you reverse, you actually get 993 grappler badges, so it will actually be enough to raise the Koketsu to 5 star. On top of that, you'll be getting back 885 grappler skill books. So you can actually put all these grappler skill books onto your Garo and CK because you are running the tank top as well. So you can actually put this tank top inside the training center below to get the benefit of the training center units. Only once you have focused all your skill books onto your training center leaders, then you consider to actually reverse your main characters and put it into the newer DPS units that is coming up. This training center, I feel that is worth mentioning over and over again because your modes such as your Club War and your Martial Dojo, which actually gives you the most amount of rewards. So if we actually take a look over here, if let's say your club were to make it into the finals alone, you can actually get 1 additional orange gear, also a figurine base. Then if let's say your club is to make it into the top 8 of the mass election, you can actually get all these different rewards to actually help the club to progress. And also take note that you actually want to put your main team on your team 1 so that your opponents are not able to get past your buildings for the club war. So this lineup you might need to change into your arena lineup so that it's very difficult for the opponents to get through your building. And if we look at the Martial Dojo, if let's say you make it into the top 100 or top 50, you can actually get 1 additional figurine base along with the level 3 or level 4 sigil. And all these are selectable sigil, so it's actually very good to aim for at least the top 100 or the top 50. So with the points that you get, I will actually suggest you to get the SAC first, then followed by the orange gear, because your account currently is lacking of both the SAC and also the orange gear. For your locks, I will actually suggest you not to get it because all your buff cards are not very good. So instead you actually want to focus on getting the basics right first, then to accumulate all these resources first. Also, you mentioned that you want to draw for the ATT and straight away put into your arena lineup. For this one, I will not recommend. Instead, what I'll do is actually to focus on the basics for your training center. And for your extreme training, it won't do anything but you actually want to extreme for the RMG. Then from there, once you draw for the ATT, extreme for the ATT instead. Then while going for the 4 stars for the ATT, you actually want to farm up for your talents. You actually want to farm up for RMG, Genos and Tank Top. Then from there, you will have more time to actually farm up for your buff gears. So you take the time to farm up for the buff gears. Then once the ATT is 4 stars, you do the minimum. The one that we talked about just now, you do the minimum for the talents. Then after you have done the talents, you farm for the buff gears again. So once you have 4 stars on ATT, I will say it's around mid-September to around October period. So you have another more month to farm for the buff gears until bomb core arrive. Only when you draw for the bomb, then from there you put up your ATT to the arena. For your buff gears wise, the buff gear reversion is actually out already So if let's say you reverse the gears, you can actually get the SAC back. So in this case, what I'll recommend, although it will cost slightly more diamonds but for your level buff gears, the one at the bottom, because the materials are very difficult to get, I'll actually recommend you to reverse the SAC up. However, for the top 2 cards, I will actually suggest you to dismantle it straight away. Then from there, use your SAC to raise for your current unit, so your Tank Top, Genos and RMG. Currently he has 615 SAC on the account, so I would say this one is considered above average. Then on top of that, for your RMG is holding on to 360 SAC, so this one is a bit too high. Ideally you want to reverse out all the gears over here and over here, so this one will give you about 110 SAC already. Then from there you reverse out all your other units SAC, it will give you roughly around 365 SAC that can be split among your Genos and TTM. So ideally you want to put about 100 onto the Tank Top, then about 265 onto the Genos. So essentially the end result will be your Genos holding on to 265 SAC, RMG holding 250, which is around the same Then from there your Tank Top is there to shield the team, so it doesn't really need that much. So you can just put on the 100 onto him and you're good to go. Also, currently you have 126 tickets inside your inventory, so if you purchase out all the 36 for these 2 months, you can actually get the ATT in time. Then from there, get the bomb core, and once the bomb core is drawn, you put the ATT onto the arena. For Sonic, this one is pretty standard because inside the bomb core, you actually need 1 good duelist. LiQWYD, this one is once the Sonic were to speed race your whole team, then from there it's very easy to stun off the targets. So from there your team don't have to do much damage or be very tanky because 2 of the units on the opponent's team is stunned. To sum up, you actually want to use Tank Top for your arena team. Then because you don't draw for the SSR Armine, so you actually have a lot of time to actually farm your ATT to 5 star, so you will have around 3 months to reach the 5 star mark. Then also take note, for your reverse card, you actually want to use it for your Armine first, so that you can get the Koketsu to 5 star as soon as possible. Then for next month, you actually want to reverse the Metal Knight for the high-tech skill book. So after that, you just look through your account to see whether you have any characters that you are not using inside the training center as a leader with a level 10 skill. If there is, then you reverse them next. If not, then you can just save your reversion card for future characters. For talents, take note that you actually want to do the minimum to hit the last point. Once you hit the last point, you can actually max out the attack and HP for any characters that require attack. That only requires HP, then you can just max out the HP will do. Also, your buff gears are lacking, so you definitely need to take some time after your talent farming to farm up for the buff gears. for your training center, this one you really have to take note now. Although the training center is already in order, meaning to say 2 of each element. However, because of your skill books being placed into different characters, your skill levels are still very low. So in this case, you actually need to wait for the reversion card and reverse accordingly. All in all, I feel that this is a very mismanaged account. However, as of right now, I would just suggest you to focus on the basics first. Once the basics are done, it's very easy for you to take up new characters that you have drawn from the LSSR pool. I hope that this is helpful to you, and if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for future content. With that, thank you for watching and have a nice day. Goodbye.